has been banned out by Danish Bears. Mouse Sports, the Knicks, as was mentioned, I think one of you were saying about Neuer playing it, and also the Clockwork. Hester Joe, one of his strongest. They take it out. We're going to have a good series here. Let's go.
Definitely a lot of respect coming out from both teams for these bans, that's for sure.
I'm surprised that they actually respect ban the Knicks of all heroes. I guess it does kind of counter Thug's hero pool. Because he pretty much plays those int mids, like only int mids pretty much.
Yeah. That's true. I in general, I have not felt like Nyx is as strong as what he looked like, you know, maybe like a couple of weeks or a month ago, in part because I think teams are just getting better at dealing with the hero. I'd rather like generally see like a Sand King, if anything. He's just a lot more versatile.
Sand King has been really ignored recently, actually. I don't think we've seen it at all today.
He was banned like every game.
Afterlife played 2 Sand King games against... Who was it?
It was against M19.
It was against M19, yes, and he owned.
Yeah, there was more Sand King in the subsequent series with Vega, and they're also very successful in those games too. So Night Stalker right away from Danish Bears. This hero's been alternately like instant pick ban or kind of ignored at times. Really depends on the teams.
Oh.
So the Vision heroes are big in this series already. That's 3 like great map control ward heroes. And
that, of course, is Skylark's favorite hero.
Yeah, you had mentioned
has the tattoo on
Skylark Beastmaster last series, Andy.
He's an extremely good Beastmaster. I feel like the heroes, the Night Stalker and the BM, just counter each other. But in the same sense, I think that Beastmaster offers, from the offlane position, something that not a lot of other heroes do, besides, I guess, Nature's Prophet, which is you build naturally into stuff like Solar Crest. It's very easy for you to do Roshan because you just have a tremendous amount of vision with your Hawks. It allows you to play objective-based Dota, even if your other heroes don't naturally hit objectives well.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Troll Warlord factor.
Yeah. Enter Beast and Vision Control, very good. Also, the BKB Piercing Disable ain't bad either.
Do you think it's an issue to pick it up in the first phase?
Not really, just because I think it's flexible. It doesn't have to sit in lane necessarily. He's actually a pretty fast jungler in his own right. And it kind of puts some pressure on Danish Bears because they're saying, okay, if NS is going to be running around and there's a tree running around, somebody has to deal with the Beastmaster. And if the other support can't stop him from farming, you actually farm not as fast as, like, say, a Veno or an Enigma, but it's still pretty substantial if you don't have a good lane. You always have a plan B.
Let's see what Danish Bears take here. It's going to be Jakiro, another hero that we're seeing a lot of. Last series was very hotly contested between Mouse and Planet Odd.
Mega hard
Planet
counter
Dog.
to tree.
Great versus the Living Armor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although, at the same time, technically it also means that Jakiro can't just randomly chip at tier 1 towers with Liquid Fire and expect to take it down like 15 minutes later.
Yeah, that's true. It's going to be very nice against that sort of slow over time push.
Looks like Mouse is targeting the offlane hero pool while Danish Bears is targeting Thug with their bans. Makes sense. With the Nyx not being available, his hero pool is that much stronger.
Yeah. The co-ops, the ODs, TAs.
Puck.
The pucks, yeah, absolutely. Puck could definitely warrant a ban here from Danish Bears. I'd say that's one of the ones you've got to be careful of letting Thug have. Maybe more so than the TA and the OD.
Night Stalker is pretty decent against Puck, but...
True, yeah, I guess, yes, yeah. Silence is annoying.
And there's the OD.
I got the OD. Okay.
So Bristleback is still out there. He's still pretty damn scary, to say.
Oh, and here we go again. Mouse Sports did this a couple of times last series.
Just a couple.
They're really annoying. Yep. You've got the permaroot tree just walking around invis, whacking away at you. The wards constantly a nuisance. The boar slowing you.
Boar slows
a lot of spell piercing slow, that's for sure.
The vision game is super strong too.
Yeah.
Plague wards.
Yeah, that's true.
Hawk, tree.
Yeah, super good against Night Stalker's movements. Danish Bears.
So why ban out the OD as opposed to the Puck or the TA?
That's kind of what I'm wondering as well. It doesn't seem like...
Because it's not like they have a bunch of strength heroes or anything.
Yeah, and it's not like OD even really does that well against Lina mid.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they have a lot of cheap mana spells. You got Plague. I mean, the ban came out before Veno came out, but it's a reasonable expectation that Mouse likes Veno. But Beastmaster also has cheap mana spells, but OD doesn't really push that well.
Yeah.
Whereas TA pushes much better.
Whoa, Veno Warlock as well. That's some dirt.
You
That
sound
is-
excited, Owen.
Yeah. Oh,
That is what we
It's
call
nasty.
a grimy combination.
Fatal Bonds Poison Nova. Oh.
They
I mean,
do
if it-
still want their frontliner here, so you know, I mean, it could be like it depends how they want to play it, but
Yeah.
I still think Bristle fits very well in this draft. Super annoying.
I think it wouldn't even be that bad if Danish Bears got something like a Darkseid, someone that can build, you know, pipe mech, have that set up for the Jakiro. I mean, even though Planet Dog did lose that game just now, the Darkseid Jakiro combo proved to be pretty impressive.
I would like a Dark Seer.
Yeah. Well, let's say the
Oh,
Legion. Okay, so
the
there's your
It's a
offlane.
Hesta Joe special.
And I guess, yeah, to be fair, Hester Joe he's probably going to be more comfortable on the Legion than the Darkseid.
Strong
Legion's
dispel
really
against
good
the-
against Beastmaster.
Yes.
Well, it's good
yeah,
against
having some
Beastmaster
save.
and it's good against Veno.
That's true.
Yeah.
You can dispel Gale. Not a lot of heroes can do that.
Right.
Okay.
You can dispel Overgrowth. Yeah, it's a very solid pick.
5 seconds remaining.
And that Legion, like Night Stalker dual lane, or if you know if there's a Jakiro down there, that's pretty damn good at pressuring. Actually,
Dire
very
team
difficult to kill those heroes.
Final ban for Danish Bears. Mouse Sports still looking for that thug hero. So
So you got 3 Thug bans.
I was going to say, yeah, an extra ban to target him. The ones that scream out, what, the TA, the Puck. What else is a big thug classic? Oh, yeah, he does play the Invoker. And with the Beastmaster, there is that setup. They can actually go for the DP ban. So I feel like Mouse, they've still got a lot of good options for thug.
Might just go back for the puck. It's
Yeah.
an alright
Puck
puck
is
game.
the best. Combines the best with Venomancer. It's more team fight oriented, whereas TA is more pick off oriented, and Danish Bears don't really have that easy of a lineup to go pick off on. Lena's the squishiest. I mean, they still haven't shown their 5th pick, but
It's not really a thug hero, but I still feel like Dragon Knight really fits well with this Mouse
yeah,
lineup.
it's definitely not a
Yeah.
thug hero. But yeah, I agree.
Like they lack a little bit in high ground. Like the wards and the boar are like kind of annoying. They're not really that good at taking the like tier 2s, tier 3s, especially if you know Danish Bears actually wants to fight you. It's very slow. So whether it's like a Razor or Dragon Knight, in theory I think something like that suits the draft well. Maybe a Bristleback,
I like Razor.
but I don't know if that's really, as we keep on saying, a thug hero.
Oh, okay. So this is going to be a position 1 Timber. I don't think. I mean, obviously
now
not been
the-
able to watch everything. I don't think Danish Bears have done this before.
The
here at this
OD ban
qualifier.
makes a lot of sense. The DP ban makes a lot of sense. You don't have
Yep.
to deal with silence.
Yeah, yeah. So why the Tim? I mean, I guess it's good against what the Treant, the Beastmaster.
Well, there's no natural BKB buyers on Mouse either, so you're
True.
Timber
Always
has
gonna-
this thing
yeah.
where he falls off really fast once cores get BKB. If they think it's a Veno core, we have seen BKB on it in the past, but it's not super common. So you just have this great wave clear. You're always pushing. It's actually very hard for Mouse to kill him once he gets hood.
What's the answer with this final pick? Thug, what can he draft?
I
What can
still
he
like
play?
the idea of a Razor.
I also don't mind the Invoker. I think that they're a little bit light on control here. Like they've
Yeah, I think.
one proper
yeah.
stun with Roar.
I
It
think
gives them
they're-
some good late game scaling as well. He's a little vulnerable to like the early Night Stalker rotations with the Lina. That's a pretty easy kill, but at the same time you have the tree to help him out. These other lanes are very self-sufficient, so you can kind of camp mid if you need to.
Could you go all in with the old school Veno Warlock Mirana combo?
I do not like Mirana right now.
I mean, I don't like Mirana
With-
either.
with
we saw
Warlock-
teams it sometimes, but
With Warlock, it's okay.
I don't. I mean, but is it? I mean, but
No,
teams
it
still
is
pick it. But
definitely-
I swear it loses games when people try it now.
We did cast a game earlier in CIS where G played it and they did lose. But
and I cast another
Yeah.
Mirana game where it lost again, and it was
Oh, really?
super farmed.
okay, it's the TA.
Ah, okay, so the thug classic, the TA, and in terms of is this a good TA game or is he's still gonna have issues this game?
It's all right. I think a lot depends on what he's able to get, like in the way of stacks. Like TA is so timing oriented.
Well, that's what Beastmaster's there for.
Yeah,
He's got nothing better to do than stack for
you
TA.
get some juicy stacks going. You get your fast blink Deso into BKB. You're looking good. But if they're able to kind of slow Mouse early tempo, then I think it could be kind of a hard game for them.
I mean, there's a lot of like control for the TA, at least until she gets a BKB. But on the flip side, I think these, like, you can give the TA a lot of support because you have a Venomancer. You know, Veno's going to be super self-sufficient. Beastmaster's pretty difficult to gank, so TA can really get that kind of mid-1 treatment, though we see Secret really prioritize stacking for the TA and get her off to a hot start. And Danish Bears are not that good at taking Ancients away, so.
Yeah, I mean,
The mouse draft is just incredibly annoying to play against.
it is annoying. You would say it's the better draft, do you feel, or like?
I think it's
so.
pretty. I think it's pretty even, to be honest.
Okay.
I don't know if I necessarily favor Mao's draft. It's just the heroes are. I guess frustrating is a good way to put it. Just because, you know, there's Plague Wards, there's Hawk Vision, there's Tree Vision. Like, finding good engagements, even with a Night Stalker team, is going to be difficult for Danish Bears. That's the biggest hurdle that they have.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's a big one. It is Danish Bears versus Mouse Sports. Winner of this gets a ticket straight to the Grand Finals, the last series to be played tomorrow for that place at the International 2017. Woo! I'm Odie Pixel. I'll be joined by Draskell. And you're going to stick around for this one? Odie Tsunami?
No pressure. You don't have to if you
Sticking
don't want
around?
to. I know Tsunami's been here for ages.
Maybe.
Maybe.
That's a maybe.
I'll do it if LD does it.
I'll stick around for now.
What
For
happened
now.
to no pressure? You just put like all the pressure
I
on
mean, just
him.
yeah,
You
see,
said no pressure. I didn't say anything about
Okay,
no pressure.
fair,
I'm here
fair.
for the pressure.
see how you find the game. If you don't like it, that's fine. I
This
won't
is-
blame you.
this
If
is
the
a cool
Dota's
game.
not to our liking, we'll leave. So we'll
Entertain me.
You'll know if we're judging based on whether or not we stick around.
I want to see how Timbersaw carry does. That's my main thing.
It's definitely a new thing. Well,
Yeah.
not.
we-
I mean, it's been
some
done
team-
before, but
yeah, teams have
But
dabbled.
you have
in
to
it.
be like OG to pull it off, though.
I think it's a pretty good Timbersaw game, though. Like, there's no silences. There's
Yeah.
really just the roar and the tree roots to control you. There's a lot of slows, but that doesn't really stop you from doing some good work with the chain and chakram. So the main burst is physical. It's just a TA. So I think as far as Timbersaw games goes, it's pretty good.
That's why I'm still surprised that they went for the TA over the puck. I think puck is more suited for countering out.
Yeah, but then like
I mean,
they're on
they've been
such a
lacking
timer
damage,
though.
haven't they?
Like
Yeah.
that lineup really falls off with a
That's
puck
true.
later on.
Yeah, puck does definitely not scale nearly as hard as TA. But I mean, as it is, their team doesn't scale very well to begin with. Venomancer has been having issues being useful, aside from being irritating, but like actually dealing damage.
their team is really good at assuming map control, though. Like I think if Mousesport's lineup gets ahead, and they're able to secure like 1 or 2 Roshans, it's going to be really hard to get
Look at
back.
this. This is going to cause some issues for Thug. Neuer and Rise with this wraparound. Can they get the kill out of this one? He does still have a refraction. Is that going to be enough to get him up? They've got another dual breath. They'll lay it down. It will connect.
Oh, mid lane is lost.
That is such a good timing. I'm surprised I don't see that more often. To
Yeah,
show
making
up
that wraparound,
right
yeah.
after they pick up the bounty.
They did get the courier snipe though with the tree. Very nicely done behind the tower.
Classic, maybe. Next
Also dropped the
time.
ward. Very efficient.
So mid lane went from 1 to lost in like 2
Yes.
seconds.
It just flipped like red, green. it was yellow, then quick red, quick green. Now it's
Look at what Spartan's doing though. He's actually not letting any of the creeps die. So Thug, in reality, he's only going to miss 1 range creep.
What a player.
Very
Saved.
nicely done.
Saved.
All right. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. You take that trade then. If you're Mouse. Let's see what the two of them could do with Neuer hanging around, holding hands with 747. Spartan looking after Thug for the time being. These side lanes, a bit of a go being made onto Ace. Skylark and MNT chasing him down. Needs one more punch to get the job done. And the salve is there, so Ace will be fine. Can they cancel the salve? No, he's not going to mess around. Too close to the tower of Rise hanging about.
See, this is why I was surprised Mass was picking Bounty Hunters. Like, Tree is just, to me, like
Yeah.
a way better Bounty Hunter. And he was available in those games when they took
Right.
it. So, maybe next time. Like, he's so good at these roaming supports, and I think Tree is probably the, if not the best one in this patch, then, like, up there with the Night Stalker is one of, like, the 2 or 3.
He pressures a lane like even earlier than what a Night Stalker can do.
Yeah.
Like even
I mean, just
Timber,
look at this
him.
damage, yeah. This is Timber, and he's gone. And that, you know, Ace in terms of regen, he's only got 2 tangos left.
Well, I mean,
He doesn't
Timber-
have his reactive.
Yeah,
armor
Yeah.
and
yet,
Timber
so-
has no natural armor, so this physical damage is disgusting.
Yep. Not an easy lane for Ace at all, being kept right away from the creeps and such. Skylark getting the most out of this, 7 for 4. Mid lane, Neuer been hanging around, causing issues for Thug. Well, we've got 5 for 2 against the 8 for 1, so indeed 7-4-7 with the slight lead. MNT still just eyes up top. Checking if anything's down. Isn't going to be the case. In that bottom lane, Madara, 8 for 3. Hester Joe getting a little bit, but certainly Madara being able to zone the Legion out a bit with the poison. And a go being made onto MNT is in trouble. That sentry's down. He will realize it now. Backs away again.
I'm surprised Timber's just not cutting these trees down.
He doesn't really have the mana.
Yeah, but he can make an excuse just to like nuke down Skylark. Oh, Gale
Ooh,
misses.
missed the Gale, yeah. They may still get this, or at least bring him close. Yeah, with that Shadow Word, he's tangoing up. Is the tango going to be enough?
Oh,
Yeah, oh, he
the
goes
creep.
into...
that is a sick fatal bond.
Yeah, is that going to be enough? Fatal bonding the creeps?
Oh, he's
Oh.
dead.
Oh, that if so, that was a beautiful
That
play.
was-
Diving the tower to get that fatal bonds on the incoming creep wave. What a play!
Spartan's been amazing this like entire day.
Dude, he's
that is-
crushing at this game already.
I wish they would add like a "This is Sparta" sound effect and to the chat wheel just
Yeah.
for this man, and then every time he goes for a dive like that.
That was just really neat. That was really nicely done from Spartan.
I mean, so what? He salvaged his mid lane.
Yep.
He gets a first blood on the offlaner.
Yep.
Is there anything this man can't do? And the funny thing is, he's on a warlock.
Yes,
Like the least impactful like rotating hero normally. Just sits and farms and throws out a nuke once in a while.
up top. Ground blows continue to be traded. MNT opening up onto Ace. Ace is certainly a little bit tanky now. He's level 3 with those 2 points in the reactive. Much harder for Mouz to make a go on. In fact, Mouz could be in trouble. Noya with the wraparound on the Night Stalker. Skylark, Verifier and such is enough to stop Danish Bears from diving upon him, so he will survive. MNT as well back under the cover of the Invis should be fine as well. And we'll
At
be
this
able to
point,
seal that
it gets like that top lane. The dynamic changes a lot now that Timbersaw has a few levels, has
Yeah.
a couple points for active armor. He doesn't really need any help at this point, so they're kind of free to move the Jakiro around. It's the first nighttime. The Night Stalker can go pressure other lanes if he wants, or try to gank top. So
That also means that Treant is also free to do other stuff, because I agree, Treant shouldn't really...
he's not going to do anything against this Timber without like a +1. Maybe if they
Exactly.
brought in the TA or the Veno.
Exactly.
It is helping secure Skylark's farm, though.
That's true.
That's the one thing.
Yeah, keeping him on par with the Timber.
It also, to some extent, like forces the at least one support to stay around top. But I actually think the Timbersaw even does well against those two heroes 1v2 at this point.
I'll see Thug getting those side stacks up as well, keeping
Is-
the efficiency high.
Is anyone stacking Ancients for Tia?
That is the
No.
question.
So that's what
No.
Spartan should be doing.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, if he can chain pull bottom,
Nice stun here in the middle lane, catching out Thug. Not enough to get the kill. MNT will TP across. Thug will be fine. Danish Bears back off after they see that TP, bottom lane. Hester Joe giving Spawn a little bit of a run around.
At the minimum, I think Beastmaster should be sending Boars to stack, because Boars are now useless against the Timbersaw, because it's just going to bump up his armor stacks.
he's been using him to CS most of the time.
Yeah, but you can get 2 of them, and like in these kinds of well, okay, yeah, I guess here, well,
If he actually gets the CS.
It's pretty, we're 25.
well,
It's pretty hard.
I mean, I agree. I think that they should put some emphasis on stacking, but at the same time, how early can the TA kill it? You want, like, probably 7, right? Because you want traps. Oh, middle lane.
OS Frog.
And Noya just jumping across the cliff. Can they kill Thug with that Laguna Blade? They're going to give it a good shot, and they do. They get it. I mean, this here, Night Stalker here, the way he can just close a gap like that and make the gank happen. Scary stuff.
There's been a lot more emphasis on securing mid, actually, from the side of Danish Bears than Mouz this game.
Yeah.
Like, sure, Spartan was around for a little bit, but he's predominantly been bottom.
Now, Spawn and MNT have come in.
I think they should be prioritizing the TA. If not, like actually supporting the lane, they definitely need to be stacking because, like, I don't really see these other heroes taking over. Like Beastmaster, there are solutions for the Roar this game. He's up against a Timbersaw. Veno is annoying, but TA is really like is the most essential hero if they want to be successful in the mid game.
and the late game.
Yeah.
Overall, definitely the pressure now is starting to be put on by Danish Bears. Ooh, Curry.
Whoa.
Uh-oh. Oh. Run, shitty wizard.
Good juke.
windlace boots not enough at nighttime? Crazy.
I think he popped his Hunter in the night a little bit late.
Trinidad's still just chilling up here. I have not
Not
seen
really
him
long.
really do much to Timbersaw after LD mentioned that the active armor is up and running.
And Amadara's left on his own because of these movements. He has got the armor. That'll buy him a bit of regen. Moving back in again. Hester Joe
they
really
have
wanting to
duel
find
now.
the duel, yeah.
He's really low though.
They're going in for it. He will find it. He is going to go for it, but Skylark with that counter rotation.
Oh, easy
Brilliant
damage for the
TP.
Snake Man.
Yeah.
That was over-eager. If Legion Commander had more HP, then sure, go for it. But as soon as you see that TP, you back off.
Yeah, I think he saw the TP as well.
Yeah, he did.
No, that was really nicely done
That
from
was really
Skylark.
tunnel vision.
Getting down there. We'll free the lane up top. M&T taking some of the XP. Ace actually going to make a go on him. Now he's got that level 6 on the Chakram. M&T still needs a bit of time. That's the living armor. Is it enough? Ace hasn't quite got the burst, or has he with that Chakram? Oh, he has. My bad. He's got it. So Scarlet leaves the lane, but that leaves M&T vulnerable. And Ace makes takes advantage of it.
Yeah, in the grand scheme of things, though, it's still worth for the Beastmaster to TP like that.
For sure, yeah, because you've shut down the Legion and got this extra damage, yeah. That's true.
Joe, though, he's actually doing pretty well. He's level 6. I mean, with the one duel onto the tower, obviously, it wasn't fantastic, but I mean, just having the capability of laning against a Veno as an offlaner is something that not a lot of heroes can do. Normally, it's like Abba or Legion, I guess, are the main two that could just sit in the lane. Obviously, Legion offers you a lot more in the way of being able to get pickoffs later on, and also scales extremely well.
Just looking to get Spartan that level 6 in the mid lane. I've got some Ancients now for the TA to clear up. Thug getting himself back into the game. Net worth, as we can see. Lena taking the top spot at the moment, 747. A great start there at the beginning. Level 9 as well on him. Up top, Rise back next to Ace. It's bottom lane where M&T's now moved down to. With his sight set for Hester Joe. Very hard though, as we said, for these heroes. I mean, you know, kind of this combination to do anything against the Legion and to do anything against a Timber.
Mid lane.
See what they can have here with the deep dive. They will get Neuer, but with the reaction now, there could be potential to turn. Ace comes in with the TP, is a little low mana, does still have the Soul Ring, but the Golem's going to be dropped down. Gale connects onto Ace. The Golem punching into him. Ace has to Timber train away. They're going to chase this man down past the tier 2s. They do lose the Beastmaster. They can't quite get Ace. He's out with the Timber chain. Neuer now wrapping around. Hester comes into the middle of it all, but it has to back off there. They just turn and right-click him down with the wards and such set up. Hester Joe doing his best to try and find something at least in return, but ends up throwing away his life. The living armor there protecting Spartan from that void burst. As the rest of Mouse get themselves out, and it ends up just being the offlaner for an offlaner. Fully in the middle lane. Ah, okay, so no, Thug did get Neuer as well.
I mean, they were super deep there, and they dropped the rock as well. They don't really get much damage on the tier 1 either, so ultimately, like a kill or two going the way of Mal's not really a big win for them in any way. I think more importantly, it's showcasing how good Living Armor actually is against heroes like Night Stalker, who don't have any way of breaking through it themselves. You kind of need the Jakiro to be there if you want to really be able to get that kill.
Yeah, that is the one thing. Like, Jakiro is obviously amazing against Living Armor, but he's pretty immobile, so he won't necessarily be there to punish the Living Armor when you actually need him to.
Chaotic offering being used and nothing really being coming from it is kind of.
You ideally want to take an objective every time you drop the rock, or at least get like a key hero kill.
Just getting kited by this boar though.
It's kind of just a little too big for the Legion to go straight for the run-up duel at this stage. Spartan continues to just taking the mid lane, doing his best to zone Neuer out of there. Ace moving down to the bottom to deal with the pressure and play of Madara, who's closing in on that Veil on this stage, but all for free. Still just the very slight lead at the moment for Mouse Sports.
I mean, the goal for Mouse should really be just to continue farming, play around the rock to ideally take a tower down mid and top, because they have such good ability to Roshan. Beastmaster, I think, going Vlads. TA, obviously, once she gets the Deso, makes it really easy. If they can get that map control advantage around the pit, they'll be well suited to take control of the game.
Dire's bottom tower
Whereas you look at the Dire side, they're pretty terrible at taking objectives. They have the Jakiro, but that's really it.
Yeah, they're much more about the fight.
Yeah.
And I think their lineup scales extremely well too.
Yeah, they're very content just trading farm on the Dire side. The Legion, Timber, Lina.
We'll move Madara up to the top lane. Hestijo around, but they're not messing. Straight up with the Roar, they close in. Poison over as well. Hestijo looks for the TP out, and he's going to make it.
That was a really smart TP.
Yeah, they blow 2 ultimates on him. And for what? He gets back to safety. I mean, they do force him out of the lane. They will probably get a tower, but they do not get the kill.
That's going to be an issue all game long, because mouse boards do not have cheap stuns.
Yeah, Tree needs a blink.
Yeah.
That's like their main
I don't think that's gonna
reliable
happen.
disable.
This tree...
He's got 1,800 net worth. I mean, it's not going to be super soon.
I feel like he'd be better off getting... I mean, like, a Blink Dagger would be pretty great, but chances are I think the Medallion may be a little bit more effective.
Mid lane, Noya coming with the wraparound here, looking for MNT. They'll put the dust, they've got the vision onto the Treant. Spartan is there, has got the rock, but he holds on to it for now. We'll just have to let the Treant die. Wants to save the Chaotic Offering for a more ideal time, but that might come soon, Noya. Teasing around with the idea of pushing them right back. And that will get the space for Danish Bears to finish off the tier 1. Now Noya looking for more action, closing in onto Spartan, gets the Shadow Word off. We'll be fine. So they'll take the objective, they'll back off. They skipping the creeps down on the bottom lane. They're also on the verge of taking themselves another tier 1, and that looks to be their next objective as they head straight down to the bottom.
This is so super value, taking 2 towers against a Treant Protector when you have a Night Stalker on your team. It opens the map up so much.
Well, Madara actually TPing in as well. And there is a full lineup coming for him here. They will be sending in more on the side of mouse boards, but I don't think it's going to be soon enough here. The Veno gets around it, jeweled up. Thug continues to TP in here. The Chaotic Offering is dropped. He has got the Refraction buying him some help, but the ultimate comes out from Jakiro. He just melt. 747 gets off the deny. Are they going to lose Skarlock as well, potentially? He's got to run out of there. Chucks the Axe's background. Hestijo and Noya gets rooted. Ace still trying to find the Skarlock, who doesn't actually get it. And in fact, again, it's Spartan, just with the Chaotic Offering. He finds himself a triple in a situation where it looked like Danish Bears was sure to come out on top with Mouse throwing bodies one by one at them. But they just end up cleaning up Mouse.
All right, this is where you queue up that Midas.
Yeah, I was actually just going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
If he still goes Arcanes, I would be surprised. Like, yeah, 1,400.
I mean, what about he had 1,600, and he could have got the Midas recipe, but he said, "Now we need wards." That's a true support there.
This is what. Take notes, Owen.
What a legend. And well, yeah, I can't believe they held that as well as they did.
The start of the fight was pretty hectic because the Roar got immediately purged by the Presti attack, so it was basically ineffective. And then MNT was a little bit farther away from the engagement, but by the time he got there, there was a Fatal Bonds across a couple of heroes, the Golem had been dropped, and it was enough to...
an upheaval on top of all of it.
Yeah,
I was like, why are these so slow? They're just getting punched by this Golem consistently, but as Spartan was just able to channel an upheaval forever, Night Stalker was just crawling out, but couldn't make his way out.
There we go again. Can they hold it a second time? That's the question this tier 1.
Nah, they're just abusing the rock cooldown and the tree as well.
Well, they're bringing in Madara. And they're certainly making it hard for Danish Bears to get these towers. Another hold, Thug.
I mean, those towers are really important for Mouse.
Another Roar, another Purge.
Oh, the Shrine. Is it enough? Skylark kind of stuck here on the hard gun. MNT's coming in with a haste rune though. Straight down with the Leech Seed. Pommel is down onto Rise. He's looking to tickle away for more as he forces Hestijo's way, just running around on this tree. They get the kill. The Shrine not enough to save that dragon.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is like that bottom tower is so important for Mouse because, you know, to expand on what Neil was mentioning, like obviously you're up against the Night Stalker, the Legion, like even Timber. These heroes are really good at collapsing on targets and if they're out of position. But when you have the tower, Mouse's team fight is really strong and they actually have a way to like all get there quickly. They don't generally have mobility, but with the towers they can group up and fight. So
they don't have a tier 1 mid, and Beastmaster can't easily get to this, but they're gonna actually get out.
It's a little scary with the Poison Nova. That's true.
They're trying to get at least a catch there, but they were unsuccessful. Get that TP in. Quick blink out from the TA and the refraction. And oh, that is the Diakari hitting the ground. Ooh, that's kind of painful. That
was
is the Bloodstone recipe gone.
Wait,
for
what?
The tree punched it.
Oh,
at the secret
Timber
shop.
Saw's Bloodstone.
Oh, that's what it was. I was like, hang on. Am I going crazy here? Right?
Yeah, that Bloodstone deny actually at the mid-tier 1, 747 had just completed the Bloodstone. And so actually ended up not losing that many charges because she was able to get 2 kills before having to deny. But yeah, 747, that one death is in the deny right now.
Yeah, he's sitting top of the net worth too, so he's looking pretty good right now. I think it's like, it's almost to a point where I feel like mouz need to keep making moves. Because I just see Danish Bears in their lineup getting more and more scary, and I really think that priority-wise, Skylark has to start focusing Hesijo on
Wait, did
fights.
Spartan get a Midas or no?
He did not.
No.
And Arcanes.
They have a medallion for this too. Skylark just picked it up, so this will be pretty fast.
Rise is in the neighborhood.
This is the power of the tree. Anticipate any incoming smoke.
Yeah, they definitely know.
It's going to be too late though. By the looks of it, Roshan pulling quick Rise, will drop down the ultimate, but they still find it. Thug grabs it, they'll move forward, get the poison over onto 2, and again this upheaval, slowing down Neuer, slowing down Rise. Laguna's dropped onto the tree, but the side of Danish Bears have already lost 2. The Raw to hold the Hestijo Legion off at the sidelines, allow the rest of the team to look towards Ace, but he gets the Timber Chain down. Out back to safety. But it's mouz claiming Roshan, grabbing that Aegis on the TA. Taking 2 kills, taking a tier 1. That's going to be putting Thug pretty much in the region of having that Desolator complete.
They didn't use Chaotic Offering, so they can use that if they want to continue moving forward.
Yeah, they have the Deso on the TA now, so their ability to take towers out just improved quite dramatically. Once it's flown out, anyway.
That's a really big breath of life to their lineup as well. Like it's one objective to be able to get Roche because you have a TA, a tree, and a Beastmaster, so it seems like that should always be on the docket. But getting the team fight win after the fact without having to commit one of your biggest ultimates, getting the tier 1, it's a huge swing in momentum. It's something that mouz's lineup, I think, almost needed.
And I think, you know, something you brought up earlier, Andy, like they really thrive when they can like start getting the network of Plague Wards down, the TA traps, the Hawks can, you know, scout out the jungle a little deeper.
Yeah, there is so much vision on their
Like
team.
they just kind of spread their tentacles over the map as these towers fall.
Even with the Night Stalker ulti, it's like they still see a ton.
I still think mouz is a huge map control edge, even with the Night Stalker in the game.
Not often that you would say that.
Yeah.
Almost the crest finished. Oh, he just picks it up from the Dire secret shop, actually. This is, I think, the build that he almost always does, I want to say.
Yeah, he sometimes does get the Necro
I mean, this
at an
game
earlier
is
stage, but
super value.
for the
It's
most part, yeah, this seems to be what
Legion
Skylark's been doing.
Commander, Timber Saw, you drop their armor, they will get shredded. What is Train Protector ending up going for?
I think he was buying a drum. Yeah, he's buying a drum.
Stacks pretty well with the Inner Beast.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Just start jamming away in the bongos, you know.
Are they really trying to fight into Aegis right now?
Apparently. I don't
Well.
think they think they're here.
There we go, Thug with the jump in, Spartan holding on to the Chaotic Offering, not going to quite jump it yet, looking for the opportune moment, Raw onto the Timber Sword, there's the Chaotic Offering onto 3, they are people down as well as Danish Bears getting pushed back, they've lost it, there's going to be a buyback from Hestijo as he TPs into the shrine, but he walks straight into the poison over, he catches 3 of them, they have killed the TA once, can they do it again? Ace looking towards Madara, but Thug jumps in with a quick mail strike. That's going to be a dieback on the Legion. Crippling Fear onto Noya. He's missing the hits here, the TA, for the time being. Gale from Madara trying to control Ace, but he still has the Timber Chain. Thug, what's his next target? He's going to look to try and turn towards Ace with the rest of them. Has to melt the Timber Chain. Oh, Thug is so glad that that did not connect. He will survive. He's trying to get his way back. No, he wants to go back in. Jumps back in for the kill onto the Night Stalker. Thug still alive amongst this all. Ace, Timber Chain through it all. Thug, Refraction,
so
burnt out
much.
by the Chakram. Ace now out of mana. The Ice Path, the Light Strike connect onto Thug. He's still alive. He melts. He survives the Shadow Word, healing him up. Refraction's back there yet again. Ace, can he finally kill this TA? He's moving in on the Chakram. The same time, Madara takes down Alina. Finally, the TA to fall. But now Skylark's back. Madara's still alive, duking out Rise. The Shadow Word and the punch to the back from the Beastmaster to bring him down. And Madara, he's going around the tree line. The Urn is going to heal him up as well as the living armor. Neuer's in. Can they kill this Veno? Finally,
Jesus
surely,
Christ.
finally. They chop him down.
Oh my god,
many-
those heals, the
Oh.
living
Stone
armor, the
charges.
urn, the shadow word, that was ridiculous, man.
So they basically just fought 10 heroes.
That was ridiculous. I mean, overall, well, we have those that die back from Hester Joe.
Ace was the last man standing, though. How many Bloodstone charges does he have? Because he just completed his Bloodstone before
17.
that. Holy crap.
Yeah.
So that's
But
the
Lina,
big
the
up.
Lina only has 5.
Yeah, but for the greater good. You know,
He
this is your one
suicided,
position.
came back, and died again.
Yeah.
The Jakiro died, came back, and Hestejo died, bought back,
and
and
died again. Yeah.
Like this was just. I mean,
I
sure,
can't
the Bloodstone
believe they
charges are
tried to
nice.
fight into that.
The Bloodstone charges are nice, but I.
No,
imagine-
oh, no. That's the only consolation factor.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
definitely not saying, like, oh, yeah, they won the fight for sure.
Oh, 747. You don't want to be here.
Yeah, he's dead. Did we lose sound?
We
I
did
believe
lose sound.
so.
Where'd the sound go, Rob?
Can't just call him out like that.
Did you kick it, Owen?
Did I kick some?
Percussive
kick
maintenance.
No, I didn't by the looks of it. There's nothing to kick, actually.
Don't stop observing.
Oh, sorry. I was just
Let's not compound problems
I mean,
and
you
lose video as well.
On that last game we went on, who was the puck player? That was
we got?
TNC's.
oh, Cuckoo.
Cuckoo. Yeah, we had Cuckoo Cam. I think you could go on Thug Cam this game.
I mean, he was making some plays on that last fight. As all eyes on him as he was jumping around. But of course, yeah, as Aldi was saying, just in it being enabled by his team with the amount of sustain they have, allowing him to play a hand, which is perfect. You know, if you can let Thug do that in
He
these
felt
fights,
like an alchemist almost in that fight.
that's ridiculous.
Living armor and refraction.
And earn charges too, I think.
And Shadowbird.
And Shadow.
Vlads.
And I think he had the Solar Crest for at least
Yeah.
part of that.
God.
I mean, the whole lineup is kind of built around the TA.
Yeah.
You know, like they have this huge AoE that you don't want to fight into. You're constantly buffing her in various ways. Really does end up becoming the siege engine, which is kind of what they need to break through some of these outer structures.
Oh, we've got sound again.
We can hear Treant die.
Beautiful.
Maybe.
That is pretty quick.
What noise does a tree make when it dies?
I mean, if you don't see it, you don't hear it.
Did it really die? Does anyone really care?
You popped an active drum to get out of that, and it totally worked.
Yeah, he pretty much debated the whole side of Danish
Black would
Space.
be proud.
He would be very proud.
Bottom lane, Mouse. Onto the tier 2. They'll get it. 747 has to be careful that he doesn't get roared at. And Skylark looking for the vision. Can't quite get in range. We'll let him go.
Glyph for that.
It's actually crazy Mouse has been able to, you know, the fact that like they're just getting run into by Danish Bears because they're not really that good at initiating without the blink on the Beastmaster. But Danish Bears are just kind of obliging by 5-manning straight into their AoE.
Well, it's kind of like they have to, right?
Right.
Because if you let Mouse set up their siege, you might as well just not even defend the tower. You kind of want to fight them before they get to your tower, as hard as it is to do. If you allow them that concave of wards and like you get set up with an upheaval or something like that, good luck engaging it.
Yeah.
Here we go, MNC.
I can't believe he's not afraid of this. That just shows how far ahead Mouse is.
Heads in, yeah, and gives him a good old wallop.
He doesn't even have, well, yeah, I guess.
He is a tree.
He is true. And yeah, you're saying that Danish Bears has to take the fight to Mousesports, but we keep on saying time and time again, Mousesports have such a vision superiority advantage. You've got traps, you've got Hawk, you've got Plague Wards, you've got Invis Tree.
But you have to try.
You have to
It's
try.
very hard during daytime. They have like almost no chance of getting an ambush there.
What is Night Stalker working on?
Radiant
Halberd.
Halberd, yeah.
That's gonna be really. They have one Halberd out, don't they? On LC.
No,
No,
God,
yeah.
no. He
No.
wishes he had a Halberd.
Then where am I seeing a Halberd?
Halberd was on Venom.
Oh wow, that sucks.
Well, not if you're a Mouse fan.
Yeah, no, and Mouse.
Stop trying to drop the Halberd.
Oh.
There we go. Madara, is he going to get any help from his friends? He
Look,
is.
this tower is still
Yeah,
up.
they're coming in. They will they kill him before he does the poison over? Oh, they do. And yeah, TPs are going to be cancelled. Mouse will just let that one go.
Push tier 2 top.
I'll TA his BKB now. That's quite big. It's only the duel to even try to deal with her.
So they will finally get this tier 1 that they've been after for quite some while. Danish Bears. Like we said, Thug with that BKB and also with that DD if he wants to go grab it up. Would be very, very nice for him to have for the next fight. Top lane, they've sent Hester Joe back to deal with this. There you go, Thug with the DD, Roshan. It's going to be the slightly in the middle ground respawn time.
The thing that's terrifying to me, if you're Danish Bears, is how long it took them to kill Madara.
That-
It
yeah.
was, it was like their whole team attacking him, and he was alone. Still took him like 5 or 6 seconds. Doesn't seem like a long time. Very long time in Dota.
Yeah, you imagine him getting that double heal, you know, someone from the team actually helping him. It's
Like, he
very
is gonna get his ult off. Like, there is no way they can kill him fast enough. Unless, of course, he's alone and it's 5 heroes.
Smoke play here from mouz.
Oh.
Maybe not necessarily the target they
is
really
a
want to
hard
go on. I mean,
target.
well, okay, with 4 of them. 4 of them, they can certainly give it a shot. They surround him. Ice Path comes out, but there's the Chaotic Offering. Does grab the 2 of them, but Timbersaw will remain alive.
that shrine.
The upheaval, though.
The upheaval, indeed, though, enabling Thug to just close in with the Golem.
Jesus.
TA and Golem going to work, cutting down 2. The BKB does now wear off. He'll be held back by the Ice Path. Gets the courier on the way. That's a clarity on the sideline, boys and girls. Ace now surrounded. He pops out the Chakram, but the Golem just remains alive throughout it all here. They've lost 2 on Danish Bears, maybe more. Thug still alive. Refraction, he jumps back in, looking for Rise, gets it. The Shadow Word keeping the TA alive. And Ace will just Timber Chain back up to the high ground in time. But again, this aggression from mouz, fighting up into a shrine, into opening up on a Timbersaw, and it still goes okay for them.
Can we just appreciate how much panic warding just happened there? Like, look at the hill, Owen. I mean, that's like the epitome of, oh god, we're fighting, oh god, we're fighting.
Press all your buttons.
That upheaval was just disgusting. It did so much.
He was like down on the head.
He was really patient with the rock.
Yeah,
too.
he was
Yeah.
fake canceling. I think he didn't really know. Half the panic warding was because, are they going to come from the high ground? When are they going to come from the high ground? Should I just commit it straight just for a Timbersaw? And he was patient. He waited. Timbersaw got out and may have died if they committed the Chaotic Offering directly onto him, but who cares when you can finish off the rest of his team?
It's like the benefit of having like Veno with the Warlock is that even if you could get a kill, it's almost always better to just Fatal Bonds a couple of heroes or, you know, just casually channel a full upheaval. Because it seems like that's been happening a lot this game.
So this is a pretty big Aegis, I think, for mouz. The TA is very strong right now.
Wrenches.
Ideally, with this, you want to take that last tier 2, start threatening high ground a bit. I don't think they have to like end the game with it or anything. But
I think a tier 3 is in order. At
tier
least.
3.
And Thug as well with that gold. Well on the way to the MKB.
Because the thing is, with their lineup, like, you know, we talked a lot about like their map control potential. You take down a tier 3, suddenly the shrines can be dealt with, and then it's really hard for Danish Bears to go out of the base and contest the next Roche, really project force anywhere on the map.
Yeah, you want to talk about a lineup that can constrict you, it's definitely mouz. With the amount of vision they have, they could pretty much see you leave the base from anywhere. Unless you're smoked.
And here we go.
Time to dump all the heals on your TA.
Can they stop this push?
How do you go at this TA?
No. I really don't. I mean, your only initiation is duel.
They're actually doing this before the rock is up as well, or the Poison Nova. That's how confident they are. That
Yeah,
like you just can't go on Thug.
Good point, actually.
It'll be up soon. They do have Nova now. I mean, honestly, even just Poison Nova and Fatal Bonds is a huge deterrent for the fights.
Get
Okay,
back.
it looks like their bottom lane is pushing in pretty heavily. They probably don't want to take any chip damage.
I mean, they've got tons of time on this Aegis.
Yeah, it's no rush to
Are
do
there
anything
any
too soon.
items coming up for
I mean,
Radiant?
maybe the MKB for the TA, you know, 1k gold away on Thug. Yeah, I mean, that's going to be pretty massive.
Yeah, it's a big item.
Yeah. So maybe just play it safe until that's out, as you said, because of the time that they have. Anything else major? I mean, I guess AC is still quite far away for Skylark. Blink Dagger looking to be the item for MNT. Actually, look, I'm sure, well, one of them's not going to build the AC, I'd imagine, as both the Veno and the Beastmaster do have that geared up.
It's a race.
Venom's gonna win.
Yeah, there we go. So, deciding to build the pipe for the team instead.
If they get AC and pipe,
Yeah.
their 5-man is just like over 9,000 godly. It's already pretty ridiculous, but
What does Nightstalker have right now?
Still working on that halberd.
Oh god, I didn't even see how poor he is.
what a nightmare.
That's usually where he does his best work, though.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is like... The middle lane was actually going pretty well in the early game for Danish Bears. Thug was losing pretty handedly just because of how much attention they were putting towards it.
He's got his full Greaves as well, Spartan.
God, this TA is never going to die.
He is very farmed.
And now's the go time. Greaves, MKB, it's coming together very strongly for mouz. They have this 10k lead, they have that Aegis.
I kind of like what DB's doing though. They're at least pushing the lanes. You know, Ace is across the map. He's bottom. He's got his boots of travel. He's doing the timber saw thing. I mean, sure, he's not going to be able to hit the tower as effectively as another hero, but he can kill the creeps.
And see what that does. He caught 747, and in fact, with that overgrowth, gets him on the edge of it all. Very nice catch there from MNT.
The Dom is dead.
No deny. How many Bloodstone charges does she have?
Oh, it's not pretty.
2.
I bet Timbersaw wishes he could just split it with her.
Radiant's bottom
Because
tower
he has more than he knows what to do with.
Yeah, he's actually doing extremely well. It's just, it's a safe lane timber.
Yeah.
You know, we all kind of questioned how much influence the hero would have, and I feel like even though he hasn't necessarily played bad, he's just not able to do as much.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's playing Timber, so he's having a Timber influence. It's just the rest of his team is just not being able to do anything else.
There goes the upheaval. And, I mean, Ace, we're sitting here, he's already taken down to half. Thug jumps in, forces back the Night Stalker.
This upheaval?
It's actually insane.
Night Stalker is trying to crippling fear Thug, but he can't get in range.
So little they can do here. Lina will be back up in a second. That will increase their odds, but now Thug just opening up onto Ace. A quick strike, taking a third of his life away. And now looking towards the racks. Still playing it safe, but yeah, they've got those two big ultimates. The Poison Nova and the Chaotic Offering.
Oh, the wards are stacking up.
This is so hard for Danish Bears to fight into. This slow, strong siege from mouz. Jump in from Thug, there's the Chaotic Offering. Ice Bath in response immediately holds back the TA. He's going to hold on to that BKB charge for the timing. Now he pops it. Turns towards Ace. Ace with the Timber Chain away out of the route. There'll be the Roar onto Hester Joe. Thug moving across, trying to dispatch the Legion. They'll get him. That's going to be Legion down for 50 seconds. No buyback on Hester Joe.
Buyback on Lina. Time to leave. Although you don't really have to.
They can go back in. They certainly can. They still have Poison Nova available. There's the trap slow.
Pipe is ticking out.
Towards Ace, Thug opens up on him. Quick play of the chakra removes the refraction. Thug healed up again by the Shadow. Has so much sustain to keep this man alive. They will take the Golem out. Upheaval starting to be channeled up by Spartan. Look at this movement speed. They just can't move. Skylark opens up onto Rise. Thug jumps straight across onto Neuer. And with 3 down, they'll find the space to get the racks. He chomps on the cheese. He's back up to full after the Laguna Blade connects. And they cannot hold on to that top set of racks. mouz successful with the push. Now moving towards the mid lane.
How are they all still full HP?
Ern, Warlock, Guardian Greaves, I think, and Tree Armor.
And Vlad's.
crazy.
Vlad's.
And Vlad's, yeah.
And cheese.
And Cheese.
Yummy cheese.
Oh, they're playing it safe in mouz. They know that they've got a very strong lead. They'll back up. Look towards the shrines. And this game getting very, very difficult for Danish Bears to come back into. And as you guys mentioned, down to the draft. What can this Timbersaw offer at this stage of the game other than be just a slight nuisance to bring down?
Yeah, that's, I think, really the biggest issue. Ace had a really good laning phase. He's been very proactive about pushing out the lanes whenever he has the opportunity. They just can't kill anything.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, there's also another problem. Alina has 1 charge under Bloodstone.
Yeah.
That is a sad Bloodstone.
Well, it can't get really any sadder, so.
It can go to 0, can't it?
That's the good news.
Can it go to 0?
I thought you could have 0. Maybe you
think
can't.
so.
Maybe it's just
I mean,
one.
I'm sure we'll find out this game.
I mean, either way, you know, like there's not much blood left to lose here, Andy. So that's the promising silver lining here. But she had a great start too. That's the painful thing.
I imagine it doesn't go to 0 because it loses what, a third of its charges. So knowing Dota, it will like take a third off and then just round it back up, probably, won't it?
I think it's 0 actually.
Does it?
I think so.
Okay.
I think I had a game where I had a 0 charge blitz.
Okay.
It really
Andy
stuck
knows
in
from
his
experience.
craw.
It's PTSD, you know?
Yeah, you're saying it in such a way you're like, guys, I have seen it go to 0 because it was on me.
I was a feeder. It's true.
Just waiting for that courier snipe.
Radiant's bottom
He
Was
really
defending
is.
a bot tier 3.
This reminds me of the old fountain that wasn't elevated, where you could just
Walk in and
you just like drop wards in there as a nature's prophet, and the second their courier leaves the fountain, just immediately kill it.
He's
Nice.
set up for it too.
Yeah, he's got
He's
the
got
blink
the
dagger.
ward.
He's got the ward.
Was that was Moon, right, at TI, where he went for like that crazy sneaky play where he dove.
Oh wait, TP'd and smoked or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
did some like I forget the exact it was so like some crazy fountain dive to kill.
It was Furin, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think he just TP'd. and
Oh no, he
smoked.
stole
Or
the
was
gem
it?
out of the fountain.
Oh,
Right,
that
yeah,
was yeah.
with
That was
smoke,
the gem
yeah.
steal.
Yeah,
that was it.
That
Yeah.
was with smoke.
Oh, they hit him with the scan. I know
He's
he's
too
around.
speedy. Stop,
really
stop,
is.
stomping away.
Impossible for them to catch out. Some items coming out for the side though. Ace, 25, and does have the Aghanims.
The thing is, like, does that really change the game?
I mean
though,
that's the thing.
No,
TA
I mean,
has
for
a
sure.
BKB.
Aghanims is pretty substantial, I would say.
I mean, substantial enough though.
Well, it instantly kills the creep wave. Like,
Okay,
by
so
having
you
the
can-
double
okay.
chakram, you spam out so hard as Timbersaw with this item. And he's got enough mana regen, I think, with having the 18 charge and the Bloodstone. I'm not
He's
saying
got plus
it's-
32.
it might not be enough to like win them the game, but it's definitely something that is a good point for them.
Oh, look at this TA though. She's got Daedalus complete now as well on top
Oh
of that
man,
MKB.
Beastmaster's got that boar talent. Hell yeah.
Say goodbye to your boars.
More feeding of the boars.
I bet he regrets that talent.
I mean, this patient by mouse not to go for that, because you see a Timbersaw you just smoked up, you're like, let's just kill this guy.
Well, they have a trap in the Roshan pit, so they know that it's up. So
Yeah.
if
There's no risk, there's no reason to go for that risk.
yeah, if DB go in and they don't drop a sentry, they're gonna see them do Rosh, and
Do
that's
they
like,
have a sentry?
they placed one, but it's not in range of the TA traps.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Spaghetti-O.
This is what we call a debate.
I think we saw this happen between Mouse and Planet Dog last time. We'll see if it goes as well for Mouse as it did before. Ace laying down the double chakrams. You're going to have the duel. Actually coming out controlling Thug. It's a good duel, but he had the refraction and the BKB up, and okay, it's not a good duel. It's a terrible one. It gives the damage away to the TA, and now forcing the rest of them back. Lina has to back off. Ace does manage to take off the Warlock in the side of it. Not yet.
Where is Timbersaw right now? Oh.
It's up on the high ground. Thug jumps in, one shot, 1100 damage there with the quick crit. Skylark with that roar onto Lina. It looks to be falling apart here. They do manage to clean up a kill at least. Ace getting some stuff done, but
Oh my
the bash
gosh.
is coming through from the MKB.
Ouch.
Making it impossible for the Timber to play his way out of that one. And with 4 dead, Mouse can easily take this Roshan very, very quickly. And their lead does continue, despite losing 2 to some plays from Ace. We did indeed see with that Aghanims, he can kill. But it is just the Beastmaster and the Warlock. Madara survives, Thug survives. These 2 big cores that are so damn scary at this stage of the game.
I think the most important thing we can take away, Bloodstone does indeed go to 0.
Ah, there we go.
There we go. I should have trusted you all along, Andy.
Yeah.
Duel somewhere.
Oh,
Okay.
the tree.
They got the tree.
They're gonna lose mid
I mean,
though.
there's a silence onto Madara. Can they get anything more? Madara
only
just
2
moving
Radiant
in with
heroes
Shivas. Can they punish this, Doug? Post the BKB, he has been disarmed. This is a massive kill if they can get it. I mean, it's a big if. Madara will be left alone. That's the Aegis pop. Does Doug come back in to save his teammate? That's the question. Can he do anything about this to help Madara get away? Madara still has the cheese. Turns around, disarms the Legion Commander. TA's
Warlock's
focus
back.
going mainly towards Ace. Here's Spartan. Spartan does not have the chaotic offering back for a full minute, but they don't need it. They just need an upheaval. Starting to slow them down. Thug unable to move in onto Noya. Ace taking the poison over to the face. Does manage to Timber Chain back up. Rise turns with the ice path. A little bit of the old Carlet as Ace goes in with the Chakram. Madara gets the cheese eaten in the second FPS. And now they turn back. There's the mailed hit
Next
flying
slide,
up. Jump back.
please.
Skylark gets the roar. Roaring not only the players but our servers as well. As they're held back, but he loses his life. Mouse backing off. Ace bringing some smoothness back to the stream. So they get the melee racks, but it's a little bit of a mess. But still, nonetheless, they've top racks are gone, middle melee is gone. mouz still with a defensive lead. Danish Bears doing everything they can, though, to try and slow them down.
Alright, so let me take it back for a second. Do you think that Danish Bears should have gone for that Roche, even if they did have the trap taken away?
Probably not.
But I mean, at the end of the day, like, is it the point that they need to try
Well,
for those
we just said that
high-risk
Timbersaw had
plays?
really good wave clear.
That's
so
true.
Can you
Prolong
sit in
it?
your base? Is that the play?
I still think that you eventually get chipped down.
Hey, Spartan, do they have detection? They don't. Now it finally comes through, but he turns. He does still get off the chaotic offering. MNT is there with the rest of the team. Madara doesn't have poison over, but MNT comes in with the 4-man overgrowth and immediately blink from Thug as he focuses Rise. The disarm holds him back for a little bit, but now it's gone. Ace, Timber chains away. As to Joe playing around with MNT, this Legion in a lot of trouble. 2 hits from Thug to take down the commander. And again, it's just mouz coming out on top of every single fight, every single little thing.
But yeah, in regards to sitting in the base, it's like between Lina and Timber, they can always kill the creep wave. It's not the problem, but you're still going to take like incremental damage over and over and over again. And when push comes to shove, at some point you're going to have to fight. So, I mean, taking Roche, not taking Roche, it's kind of being stuck between a rock and a hard place, I feel, if you're DB right now.
I can agree with that.
Look at this, MNT just waltzes in straight under the tier 3. Thug looking to join up. Ace on this Timber, moves in with the Chakram. Again, backing away, keeping himself away. The Laguna Blade will be dropped down onto MNT. MNT's gone. 70 seconds, no Trian. The rest of mouz now starting to retreat. Noya trying to close the gap onto Madara. Ace, what a Timber chain there, straight amongst them all. They'll bring down Madara. Skylark is trying to go back in and bring down the Legion. Has the Roar, the pause as well. Gets the kill, but he was going to pay with his life. The Ice Path controls him. That's going to be him dropping as well. Thug did manage to find Ace on the Timbersaw, but that time mouz maybe getting a little too ahead of themselves there as they do lose 3 heroes.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
MNT was behind enemy lines there.
I mean,
was
he just
super
waltzed
deep.
straight in.
Yeah, he was very deep. The Blade Mail actually is deterring Thug quite a bit from being able to kill Ace.
Yeah.
And that was even with Thug having a double damage as well. So sometimes what happens is if your BKB's down and you're playing Templar Assassin against Timber, sometimes you blow yourself up on Blade Mail because your refraction charges just get eaten by like Chakram ticks and like other random stuff. But if you have BKB and he Blade Mails, then your refraction pretty much solely absorbs the Blade Mail attacks, and Thug almost killed himself on it during the fight. So I think that's part of the reason why it didn't go super well. Like Thug was back and forth deciding if he wanted to go in, and plus MNT just decided that he wanted to become the tier 3 tower.
But they also have a 25k net.
Oh, they're certainly
yeah.
still in the lead.
It's still good.
I will say though that Danish Bears is putting up a heck of a defense. I'm not sure if any other safe lane hero would have been able to do the same thing that Ace is doing for his team right now.
Definitely not. Because he's wave clearing, he's tanking, and he's dealing damage.
Is he ready to go again, mouz?
And good news for Danish Bears. TA's running low on item slots here.
Oh yeah, Moon Shard consumed.
Yeah, he's had it for a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
He had it for the last fight.
Just drop those. Sell those boots. Get a rapier.
Oh, he actually went for the -8 armor on Meld.
Not the refraction charges? I don't think I've ever seen that before.
I've seen it when the team with the TA is not able to just freely siege. Like, as a sieging tool, the 3 refraction charges are just objectively better, right?
Right.
But in fights, you can make arguments for the -8 armor.
But she is a Daedalus. Are you really having trouble killing targets?
Dude, that Timber took like 3 1500 damage crits to kill.
Yeah.
The Timber's hard to kill.
That's true.
And he is pretty much the only one who can kill Timber. -16 armor on Meld.
But then again, there's that blade mail play that you said. More refraction charges, you'd be able to counter that blade mail a little easier.
If he's not careful, he can just explode himself.
So there is hope for Danish Bears.
I would say a faint glimmer.
A faint glimmer of hope.
Yes, a faint glimmer.
From this position.
I don't. It doesn't really feel like they did anything like horribly to be in this position. I just think like small things happening mainly revolving around team fights. Like the one where they were fighting by bottom shrine, and they basically killed like 9 heroes. That was, I think, where they really lost their footing in the game.
Yeah.
Because there were like there was a dieback, 2 heroes. Other than that, died 2 times. Lina lost like all of her bloodstone charges, all in that one engagement. It was almost an unmitigated disaster.
But you can't really blame them though. Like that TA lived way longer than any TA
Yeah.
deserves to live.
They kind of got baited, thinking that they could kill Thug.
Yeah.
Here we go. Back in for the boys on mouse. As we see what the next plan is. I mean, will they play it safe? Do you think they wait for Roshan again, mouse, or?
They should. They don't
Yeah.
have to, but
No
they should.
reason not to wait.
Yeah. Might be in
TA.
trouble there. They're coming in.
Oh,
they get the
dear.
duel. Chaotic Offering will buy some time here. Have they got the control to bring this TA down? Falling low, they've done it. They take down Thug. They're going to get a bonus prize of the Warlock as well as both of these golems that will be dropped. And that
much-
is the perfect jump.
How much gold did they get for that?
200 each.
1k here for that
It'll
old
show in a
Hester
second.
Jump.
Bonus deal.
3,300
Give me
gold
that
for
fight
2
recap.
kills.
That's what I like to see.
So that was a 4,300 gold sword. 4,400.
Not bad.
Not bad.
It's a start.
Just need like 4 more of those.
If they didn't disarm that TA, LC was going to die for sure.
She might have taken 2 heroes with her.
Yeah, probably.
He was like, nah, it's cool, guys. I got a blade mill.
Yeah, she's gonna die on me. Don't. Oh god. All my HP.
I mean, the unfortunate part is they get that nice gank, but the timing, okay. Well, maybe if they kill MNT as well.
No, I got the gem on Neuer.
Duels up.
And that is going to be some more damage.
Uh-oh.
It's fine.
This is...
I've seen this movie before.
This is getting a little sloppy.
It's fine.
Good news is Legion's not level
they
25 yet.
They need a short
It's true.
Roche respawn. They really need it. And it's, oh my god, it actually instantly spawned.
Oh man.
What?
But Rise leaves.
That's crazy.
Rise left.
Oh!
Oh my god, walk back into the pit.
Oh,
Walk
no.
back into the pit.
The Danish curse.
I think he even wrote down the time.
Malkexed them.
Oh man.
That is actually so unbelievably painful for them.
Cinderin put the voodoo jinx on.
I mean,
His
sure, there's a
friends.
trap in there, but still, that was like the chance right there.
You think they would have taken it if it was there?
I think you have to go for that.
Oh yeah, you definitely have to go for that.
You don't think you can win a fight in the pit if you just stall out around it?
There's no golem. The tree's dead.
Oh, there's no golem. That's true.
That's like their
I think
entire
you
team fight,
absolutely
yeah.
take that.
Yeah, no golem is a big deal.
Hey, he's got 5 bloodstone charges. He's back up 747.
Hit up the Red Cross, got a donation.
He actually almost has a hex.
Eric Dunn's a comeback player.
He is indeed.
He's got a lot of coming back to do though.
I'm pretty sure if DB watch this replay and they just see that Roche spawn, they are going to be so upset.
Just on Thug. Cheese. Into the hands
Oh,
of Madara.
man. That's so painful because now Golem's going to be back up too. Like, Mouz are basically going to barrel down bottom lane with everything.
I don't know if you can let them get to the base. Like once they set up with the wards, they start channeling the upheaval. The TA's got the Solar Crest living armor on her. It just starts.
They
hitting
have
the
a
tower.
smoke.
I think you have to try to ambush them.
Risky business.
Yeah,
How much?
but letting them get there is pretty risky too.
No, I agree completely. All right, here we go.
Oh, it's so hard to get the jump on a team with the tree though. Sneaky little bugger.
Maybe next time. Oh, he pops it. Pops the smoke.
Oh!
Catches 4 of them here.
Hey guys, I found them! I found them!
He's going to be punished, taking his life here. They'll turn and go. At the same time, can they find anything? The Jewel's there on the sidelines, but the turnaround from Mouse, is it strong enough? They have the Glimmer Cape to protect Spun. Gets the chance to turn around, land the Chaotic Offering. Hester Joe being brought down low. Disarm again onto Thug. He's been silenced. Does have the refraction, but he's stuck in the ice path. Madara coming forward, but the Chakram bringing him down. The Aegis is gone. They've managed to bring down Hester Joe. That's the only one so far. They need more, mouz. Can they get it? Again, an ace with these Chakrams trapping up Thug. Neuer trying to come back in. Thug will put the BKB, looking to find the kill onto Ace. Blinks forward. Can he finish off this Timber sword? No, the disarm from Neuer. Timber's going to be able to get himself back to safety. On the back lines, they did find 747 on the Lina.
That was a little over-ambitious, I think, by maybe next time. You can also see this TA is so reliant on her BKB. She put in the backpack because of the Aegis and just did absolutely nothing with the first life.
Halberd, a very good item against TA. The sad part is, too, when your BKB gets down to 5 seconds, the disarm lasts way too long, even for a BKB charge, because you can't dispel it.
Yeah.
It just stays on.
This is where the Aghanim's Timber actually starts to get pretty scary for TA.
Yeah, Ace has been doing
Like,
work.
now that the BKB is so low, your
He's
refraction is just useless once the BKB's off.
He's going to have Octarine, too. God, he is going to be so hard to kill.
Is Jakiro 25?
I think he's at least 20. Yeah, he's got the
GPM talent.
yeah.
Because that Ice Path duration talent is so good. Especially when enemy teams are building early BKBs, like TA is going to be between being disarmed, stunned. She's not going to be able to do anything.
Yeah, it's a good point actually. Like the ultra late game with 5-second BKBs can be a bit of a struggle, I think, for mouz. Like the Timber, the Jakiro, the Lina, all those heroes greatly benefit from short duration BKBs.
A lot of money there on Thug still. And he will invest in the Lincolns. Spartan, of course, still 45 until he has the offering. Waiting patiently to see if anyone on Danish Bears dares leave the base. Doesn't look to be the case there.
That's going to be very useful for TA.
Who needs boots when you have a blink dagger?
Who needs boots?
With this, she can just BKB, and you can't even duel her as long as the Lincolns hasn't been procced yet.
I think the main thing is you just don't want to get disarmed. She's really
That
irritated by this
too.
halberd.
There's your Octarine.
Oh man, they're outside the base.
5 seconds till Golem. Thug opening up the trap. He's not the target he wants to go for. He wants to jump for the back. And there's MNT coming in with the overgrowth. They'll drop the chaotic offering onto 2. Hester Joe has gone for the duel here. Spartan taken down. But now with the poison over out, Hester Joe's going to tick down low. They've already lost 2 on the side. The disarm is there on Thug. Thug, can he get anything more? 747 finishes off the Trin on the sidelines. Hester Joe ticking down low. The jump forward, they'll catch him. 3 down. Get the 3rd kill. There'll be a buyback on the Night Stalker, but there's no buyback available for Rise or Hester Joe. mouz also down 2, but they keep their cause alive.
What a great timing on that Lincoln's. Nightstalker, as soon as he saw the TA, immediately popped the halberd. She blinked, BKB'd, and after that, she was able to go to work. And that was the problem in the previous team fight. She wasn't able to deal any damage.
Well, the other big difference too is MNT's overgrowth actually allowed uptime for damage. Whereas in the previous fight, MNT was so far ahead of his team that his overgrowth was basically just, hey, come catch up to me. The other thing that I think is actually going to be pretty important in this game, considering the damage type of Danish Bears, is that this Warlock's going to be level 25 soon. That means magic immune golems.
Oh.
That is actually going to be really, really frustrating for them.
Yeah, they don't have that much
I guess he doesn't have
damage.
Aghanims, but if he had Aghanims,
But if he dies,
then
he dies, and that's basically like having an Aghanim's.
yeah, that's true. He's very tanky though. He's got the Guardian Greaves, lots of HP.
You gotta give Danish Bears a lot of credit. They've managed to hang on this long, for sure.
It's just because I think a lot of it is their lineup. They're so good at clearing waves. Like,
Yeah, like we haven't even talked about like the mid or top. It's
Right.
just it isn't even a part of our minds that they've cleared those Raxes, but that's not easy to consistently keep pushed.
I guess the next question is, oh, he's going for Lotus. Okay, so I guess Ace is gonna get rid of Pipe for Lotus. Wants more armor.
See if they can make a move with this smoke. Chaotic offering unavailable. MNT will be spotted out here. Jump forward. They'll go for the duel. They'll take themselves a very quick kill. to start off with. More damage for Hester Joe. Moving forward for more. Ace does clip Madara with the Shiva's guard, and Madara turns around with his own Shivas to try and hold him back. He's being surrounded. There'll actually be a buyback from MNT for this engagement. Thug moving forward, instantly blinks up to the high ground to get a better position.
The upheaval.
Can they do this? 747 going for the TP out, will escape. They're actually backing away from the side of Mouse here. They don't want to take this fight outside of the base, but the Roar there forces the Night Stalker to stick around. Neuer taken down by a quick meld hit from Thug. And that is the Night Stalker down for 90.
Dude, Spartan
unavailable.
He's just unreal. He is so good.
Yeah, I don't even know where he was. All I saw
he was sitting
giant
on the low ground in the river, channeling the upheaval and just destroying. Like, the Night Stalker popped his Hunter in the night to try to fly over the trees, but he moved 100 units in the duration of his passive. That was...
At night, mind you.
Yeah, that was extremely well played.
MNT jumping in with the overgrowth, lining it up for Thug to get the hits in. That's going to be Lina just absolutely evaporating. They turn towards Hester Joe. Double kill for Thug here as he's ready to work in onto more. Ace trying to force him back. Lincoln's is procced on Thug. Thug is going to meld, hiding up. The Chakran's down as well as the Sentry. They have the vision, but the racks are being focused. Madara going for the objectives. Ace, Timber chains across Thug, now turns back towards him, up to the high ground. The racks finally to fall. They get what they came for. An incredibly disjointed fight all over the place. You've got Madara killing off Rise. Buyback from Ace as he was dropped. 747 taken down. It's a dieback on the Lina, and GG, well played, is finally called as Mouse Sports take game one here. But you cannot say that Danish Bears didn't give it their all. They're really making the work for it and really drawing this game on, holding them off, and for parts of it, giving Mouse Sports a bit of a scare with how good Danish's defenses were.
Yeah, I feel like if the fight at the Shrine bottom never happened and they didn't fight into that Aegis timing that Mouse had, and they got like maybe a better position or took a better defense, we could have seen a completely different outcome in the Ultra late game, just because, like Tsunami was saying, a lot of the time the Halberd was destroying Thug. He had to get rid of his boots just to buy a Lincoln so that he wasn't disarmed during the fights, and Ace was actually destroying in the late game.
Look at the damage, he did great stuff.
He was doing so much.
Did almost as much as the TA.
Yeah, that's impressive.
There's this weird cycle in Dota where if you look at the lineups, at first, Mouse Sports lineup is really strong, and then BKBs come out, and then they're like really strong, but then they fall off against lineups that are comprised around heavy magical damage. So like in their very early game, Danish Bears lineup is also very good, but during the mid game they fall off a lot because of BKBs. But then past like 45 minutes, they get really strong again. And that's why they were able to hold so effectively for such a long time.
I guess the fight at the Shrine kind of helped set Ace up for more success because he was always the last person to survive. And the Lina dying repeatedly was, it was basically like that was like it was a bridge for them, and Lina got left behind, Timbersaw moved on, and Lina was just never really able to recover. If Lina maybe became a bigger core, like at no point was I ever really seeing TA and Lina duking it out. And that was the mid lane matchup, but those two heroes were just never engaging because they had completely different jobs because Lina fell behind so much.
Yeah, TA often had an Aegis this game, usually had a really good setup with the Rock, the Upheaval, the Overgrowth, so like she's just able to go in early, pop the BKB, and they didn't really have a good solution for BKB. The only thing you could do is duel. I mean, Legion did that one time, like immediately died. I think that's still fine. You just, you know, at least waste some of the TA's BKB duration. But for the most part, he couldn't even get into the fights because he was just chain disabled by those two big team fight ultimates. So
yeah,
I like the overall approach from Mouse Sports. I think Tree is a much more suitable maybe next time hero on this patch than Bounty Hunter. So I'd like to see more of that. I think even though it didn't necessarily do all that much in the mid game, it was huge in the laning stage and really big in the late game.
Well, and
with the overgrowth,
it kept all their towers up also, and we had said time and time again, you've got to keep your towers up against the Danish Bears lineup.
I mean, we saw like the old Mouse Sports, maybe or Ad Fitum, maybe next time would get banned out a lot, like the, you know, the Bounty Hunter, the IO.
Well, they banned Wisp Furion in the first two.
Yeah,
so
I think you maybe consider a tree ban, but it was overall like just a really well constructed strategy, not just the tree play, but everything around it.
Yeah,
too.
I think that Mouse have really they kind of found their stride. They found something that works for them. They have this kind of aggressive style of laning, and then they just transition into kind of 5-man Dota, but not really 5-man Dota because they're also effective at controlling the vision on the map and getting effective farm. So it's kind of like a hybrid of we can farm and pressure you simultaneously, which is very hard to play against because you always have these heroes in your lane and you're like, okay, well, they're pushing towers, but they're still also getting farm. Oh, and by the way, it's like impossible to gank them because they have Beastmaster, Veno, TA traps, and it's just like, once they get control, losing it is actually hard with that lineup. And I think with a team that really likes the early game aggression, that it suits them perfectly.
Oh, well, there we have it. Yeah, we'll go to a short break, ladies and gentlemen. That was game 1, Danish Bears, mouz Sports. mouz Sports taking the game, but a very close one indeed. And Danish Bears definitely with all the potential in the world to take a game against mouz Sports. We'll see if they could do it very shortly. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back for game 2.